Welcome to Hero Villains. Today's battle, who do you think will win in the Spectre or the Phoenix Force? The Phoenix Force is a cosmic entity that represents life, death, and rebirth, often associated with the X-Men, especially Jean Grey. It has the ability to manipulate matter and energy on a cosmic scale, resurrect the dead, and create or destroy entire worlds. It feeds on emotions, primarily love and hope, but can also absorb despair. The Spectre is the embodiment of God's vengeance and is often portrayed as a cosmic force of justice. He possesses near-limitless powers including reality manipulation, time travel, shapeshifting, and the ability to read souls. His powers can vary depending on the host, usually Jim Corrigan. Before we dive into the analysis, please hit the subscribe button and remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thank you very much. The power of the Phoenix cannot be completely destroyed, or in other words, it cannot be permanently destroyed, that which was created to ensure life and rebirth in all things. The Phoenix is a symbol of hope, affirming that death is not an absolute end, but only a transition, because it itself is a promise of rebirth and life after death. Born in the space between states of existence, the Phoenix is the entity responsible for life, creation, and also maintains the law of death and resurrection, an eternal cycle that is always present in the universe. It is its light that illuminates the space with life, becoming the embodiment of pure creative action. It carries within it the power of Genesis, associated with the Big Bang, with its endless creative nature and its undying passion for maintaining the operation of all things. The Phoenix manifests its existence in the physical dimension through the Big Bang, when the immaterial will and desire to create was transformed into a primordial energy, creating a creative force in the infinite space of spirit and imagination. It is from this energy that all forms of matter in the universe are formed, and all creatures, from the smallest to the greatest, have their origin in the Phoenix Force. However, in contrast to the Phoenix, there are entities in the universe that carry the mark of error and redemption. One of them is the Wraith, originally known as Astar, an entity who participated in a rebellion to usurp control of the divine presence in the heavens. After realizing his sins and attempting to atone for his mistakes, Astar was transformed into a vengeful spirit of God. As a punishment for his arrogance in the presence of the divine, Astar's memories of his former self were erased, but remains as a pure form of divine rage. Over the years, the Spectre has proven itself to be a formidable foe of overwhelming power, capable of influencing space, time, and reality. Unbound, the Spectre faced Michael Demiurgus in a protracted battle, challenging one of the most powerful beings in the universe. Although Michael ultimately emerged victorious, he had to admit that the Spectre was indeed a dangerous opponent with powers far beyond those of most other entities. It is important to note that Michael possesses an all-encompassing supernatural power that operates in a manner similar to that of the Supreme Being, able to influence and destroy anything at will. In terms of the nature of its power, the Spectre can be classified as a divine entity, but it clearly falls short of the ultimate level of entities like Michael or the Creator himself. Still, the Wraith's abilities made it a threat that even the most advanced beings could not take lightly. From the rage that the Wraith represented, a fourth order was formed, bringing forth the Lords of Order, including Nabu, a being of extraordinary power with incredible abilities on Earth, as well as a considerable degree of control over space and time. Under the influence of mystical energies channeled through mages across the universe, the Phantom gathered enough power to confront the Anti-Monitor in order to prevent him from interfering with the course of history of the multiverse since the dawn of time. The Anti-Monitor's actions were believed to be a plot to completely erase the multiverse, making it seem as if it had never existed in any form. If this plan succeeded, all of reality would be destroyed, leaving no trace behind. However, despite the Anti-Monitor's immense power, the Phantom's intervention caused this plan to fail. Instead of absolute destruction, this resulted in the regeneration of the multiverse, allowing it to exist in a new form, continuing the cycle of motion and evolution of all things. The Wraith holds the power to kill the abstract versions of chaos and order in the universe, an effect that would strip the Hawks and Doves of their power over chaos and order, though they gain the power to manipulate the intrinsic nature of supernatural order and chaos that transcends the boundaries of the mortal world. Another testament to the Wraith's terrifying power is its confrontation with Nabu, when he was not bound to any host. At that time, Nabu was the most powerful Lord of Order in the 9th Age of Magic, possessing knowledge and power far beyond most other mystical entities. However, despite his great power, Nabu was ultimately destroyed by the Wraith. Nabu's death not only marked the end of the 9th Age of Magic, but also paved the way for the 10th Age of Magic, a new era set to restore order by rewriting the laws of magic on a cosmic scale. This act not only changes the nature of magic, but also strengthens the balance between cosmic forces, allowing the magical system to operate in a new structure, which becomes especially impressive when considering the moment when the Phantom reveals his true nature as the embodiment of punishment, sacred. With just one forcible strike, it could push a Lord of Order into a near-death state. After suffering a devastating blow from the Phantom, Nabu described the power displayed as nothing less than the primal forces of primordial darkness, tearing him apart from within, cracking every layer of protection he had. But the devastation not only demonstrated the overwhelming power of the Phantom, but also proved that even the most powerful entities in the universe could not stand before its absolute punishment. Please subscribe to the channel, it helps us a lot, and moreover, you will get to see great videos every day. You are the best, thank you very much. Just like other entities empowered by the gods, the Phantom cannot truly be destroyed. It can only be permanently erased if its supreme being no longer exists. However, even when defeated, the Phantom is only temporarily extinguished, with its core essence still existing, waiting to be restored and rematerialized by the Creator. In a confrontation between supreme beings that is not about who can be immortal, but who will win the battle, the Phoenix Force still has the overwhelming advantage. This stems from its very nature. Not only is it a source of regenerative power, but it also plays a vital role in the creation and operation of the universe. The Phoenix not only reflects what the Phantom represents, but also extends its influence to many other aspects of existence, making it a more eternal and all-encompassing force. If the Phantom is the embodiment of divine vengeance, but the concept is not new to the Phoenix, especially when viewed from a religious perspective. In many religious traditions, the Phoenix is often associated with the symbol of rebirth and divine power, even being compared to its Christian counterpart. The Phoenix is seen not only as a powerful entity, but also as an embodiment of divinity. An entity that represents not only creation and rebirth, but also the ultimate sense of power and eternity. Especially recently in the White Hot Room, where the desert mutants are told to be in the desert of sin, a place of trial where Exodus the believers will lead them to the promised land because of seeing a previous vision of the Phoenix as the burning bush, or Constantine's vision of the true cross, now supporting his leadership of the desert mutants as they await a revelation that they may not even survive. However, this is similar to how Moses led the people of Israel in the desert as God commanded Pharaoh/Satan, which is the end of the world in this context. As an entity associated with the dominant existence, in its realm exists the ultimate form of judgment that governs both within and beyond the boundaries of reality. It is not only judgment, but also mercy when interacting with existence, signifying the attributes of God which it represents in the mystical tree of life and death, as well as demonstrating its role as a catalyst, binding and balancing force that lies at the center of everything, all-encompassing, very similar to the sun in the solar system. Therefore, exposure to its fire and the power that comes with it is very similar to merging with God, which further strengthens its power and role over creation. Its ability to materialize itself into reality after each fragmentation, its ability to see through everything with a much better perspective, just like how the Creator viewed Adam Brashir as Katamon, as well as the divine fire that encompasses all creation. The intersection of all realities in the multiverse is a stand that represents the potential power of the Phoenix Force. In the physical world, as mentioned, contact with it is like a fusion with the Phoenix, accompanied by omniscience and ultimate control over all realities. Altering this crystal allows for the constant release of reality waves that encompass all realities in the multiverse. According to the Watcher in the Multiverse, the Phoenix is considered to be the most powerful entity, second only to the one above all. The recent Defenders Beyond story further solidifies this notion by showing the Phoenix's immense power, showing that she not only surpasses the entire Omniverse, but also makes the Beyonders, including the Beyonder who appeared in Secret Wars, fear her. Even when only appearing as a representational entity, the Phoenix Force is powerful enough to defeat them, raising the question, if the Phoenix were to manifest in its true form, how great would that power be? Currently, Phoenix is ranked among the 3 most most powerful entities in the Marvel Universe, can be on par with the Living Tribunal, the all-powerful entity that resides in the House of Ideas. Furthermore, in the latest issue of Defenders Beyond, the Phoenix Force is described as being superior to the Beyonders after the retcon Ivory Kings, which means that the white-hot room of the Phoenix is confirmed to be superior to the Beyonders after the retcon. The incarnations of the Ivory Kings possess the power to destroy every cosmic entity in the entire multiverse of Universe 7, including the incarnations of the Living Tribunal. This means that the Phoenix Force is superior not only to the entire Ivory Kings, but also to all other cosmic entities, such as the Infinity Variants, Chaos, Order, Galaxies, and countless other diverse entities. One important exception, however, is Oblivion, because comparing an entity that represents absolute creation to an entity that embodies absolute nothingness is extremely complicated. While the Phoenix Force possesses power far beyond that of most entities in Marvel, there are some entities in the DC Universe that even she cannot overcome. One of these is the Great Darkness, the ultimate embodiment of darkness, the source and cause of all evil that has ever existed. The Great Darkness has existed since before the greater Omniverse was created, acting as an opposition to God. The Great Darkness's influence extends throughout the DC Universe, with powerful entities such as Darkseid, Pariah, Mastermind, Superboy Prime, and the Anti-Monitor, all being its direct or indirect creations. This proves that the Great Darkness is not simply the opposite of the Presence, the ultimate entity in DC, but rather an entity that existed before the Presence. The Phoenix Force is often tied to its host, and although extremely powerful, it can be influenced or restrained by strong wills or other cosmic entities. However, this bond is not always stable, as the Phoenix Force can become agitated or lose control if the host is not strong enough to control its immense power. There have been many cases where the Phoenix Force has sought out a new host or has been manipulated by forces that seek to exploit its destructive power. Despite its power, the Phoenix Force is not invincible and can be defeated when faced with cosmic entities of equal or greater power. In direct confrontation, the Spectre's role as a godlike entity can give him the advantage, as he can manipulate reality and judge the Phoenix Force on a moral basis. Not only does the Spectre possess power far beyond that of many other cosmic entities, but he also has the ability to judge and punish those he deems a threat to the cosmic order. This can put the Phoenix Force on the defensive if the Spectre deems it a threat. However, the Phoenix Force is one of the primal forces of the universe, capable of regeneration and destruction on an unimaginable scale. The Phoenix Force's ability to revive and control life could be a challenge, as it is not only a force of destruction, but also a force of regeneration. The Spectre would not be able to do much against the Phoenix because its nature is much stronger. The Phoenix Force is the embodiment of eternal life, able to destroy and then recreate itself from the ashes, rendering any punishment from the Spectre ineffective. While the Spectre can manipulate reality and punish souls, the Phoenix Force is not simply an individual, but a timeless entity that cannot be destroyed in conventional ways. Even if defeated, it can be resurrected in another form, continuing its own endless cycle. This makes it difficult for the Spectre, no matter how powerful, to completely control or eliminate the power of the Phoenix Force. I think the Phoenix Force will win. What about you? Who do you think will win? I hope you enjoy this fight. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like. That's it for today's video. Thanks a lot.